No, I have done fucking around. You pick, look at me. You don't get to pick and choose what you tell us. Everything you know, everything you've seen, it all matters. Because that may be how we go home. Don't you want that? Huh? Wouldn't you like to go home? This is my home.
It's showtime.
Hello. Welcome. If you're new here, please subscribe, thumb up the video, share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. Please and thank you. Watch ads without skipping, become a channel member, become a YouTube premium member, donate through Super Thanks. If you don't want to do Super Thanks, you can donate through Cash App. That's $Spade Parkland. Thumb up the video, comment in the comment section, share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. And if watching on a cell phone, hype me up. Just posted a YouTube short showing you how to hype videos up for your favorite content creators. Okay, that's out the way. So we're going to be going over a theory that I mentioned in another video. I mentioned it real briefly, kind of gave it broad strokes. Some had questions and wanted me to kind of expand upon it more. And that is the idea of, when talking about the man in the yellow suit, and this is a theory video for the show called From on MGM Plus and Amazon Prime. Season 4 is going to be coming out sometime in 2026. So when thinking about the idea of the man in the yellow suit, who we're presuming is the big bad, we saw him at the end of season 3. It could be Randall that could become the man in the yellow suit. In the video that I made talking about the Talisman Stone that I recently did, I mentioned that out of everyone in town, as far as a character on the show, the one that more than likely would have the greatest chance, writer-wise or storytelling-wise, of becoming the man in the yellow suit would be Victor. And what I mean is that Randall could become the man in the yellow suit because the creatures, when they captured him after Boyd made the choice to sacrifice Randall to save people in the ambulance, talking about Henry, Tabitha, and Jim. When they captured Randall, whatever they did to him, they put him on the back of the ambulance and left him there. And they cut his throat, cut his cheek, and I think they poured something down his throat that is going to have a fruition in season 4. Randall feeling jaded that he was sacrificed by Boyd. Randall already was having behavior issues dealing with people in the town. That's why he was banished from Colony House and he had to live in the bus. Randall has had a negative experience in the township and dealing with different people. I think the only type of friend he has is really Marielle and Julie. And even with them, when talking to them about their experience being captured in the dungeon by the cicadas, he seems like he's afraid to really address it. So for everyone else, it's the tough guy persona. But with Marielle and Julie, he shows signs that he's traumatized and afraid, and he's still suffering from the cicadas. I don't think the cicadas went away with the destruction of the music box monster, because I believe the music box monster was just a monster that called other monsters to it and used other monsters like the kimono woman, the cicadas, maybe even the creatures to a certain extent. And so when Boyd destroyed the music box, I think that eliminated the control over other monsters, and the cicadas released the souls of Julie, Marielle, and Randall, and they're still haunting Randall. Their personalities aren't something the cicadas can continue to feed on. Because when you think of Marielle and her personality and Julie, they seem like they're genuinely soft, good people. They've gone through things, but they haven't been hardened like Randall has. And so Randall's the target. I've made an argument in a previous video that Randall would make a good candidate to become the man in the yellow suit. I mean, they got the same ears, same face, same nose. They got a lot of sameness going on. But I think that if it came down to it, if there was a possibility to go home, Randall would jump on that versus being in the prison of From. However, out of all the characters on the show, especially after Kevin opened up the window and let Jasmine in. I think everyone is ready to leave. Everyone's afraid. The new life that was created in the colony house where people were practicing hedonism, I think all that went away and people want to go back home because there's always a risk that the creatures are going to get in somehow, some way. So everyone is not really all about partying and having a great time like they were in the beginning of season 1. Everyone's kind of on pins and needles, except for Victor. Like Victor told Jade, I am home. And Victor has said it is not good to ask questions. And Victor has not really wanted to help out the townspeople out of fear that if he does something that makes the place upset, it's going to make his home angry at him. And he is institutionalized and conditioned for Fromville. So if you think about it, it's kind of like someone who's been a prisoner for like decades. When it comes time for them to be released, they don't want to leave. I think Victor is the same way, where he's institutionalized. Fromville is his home. This is it. So I could see it finally making contact with Victor, or recontact, offering Victor something like a gift. And Victor has the conversation and says that he's no longer a little boy. This is all a theory. He's no longer a little boy. He's an older man, but he wants the respect of other adults. He wants to be respected. Because if you think about it in the show, many people look at Victor as being weird. They look at him as being something strange. Not many people are really nice to Victor. The one time we see someone invite Victor to the party, which was Ellis, it was kind of like malicious, with Ellis offering Victor alcohol. It wasn't like, hey, come have fun with us. It was more like putting him down and making him the butt of a joke. Donna has managed Victor, and Tabitha's done a really great job with Victor, getting trauma and stuff out of him. But in getting the trauma out, it re-traumatizes him, and he just basically wants to be left alone and have peace, in my opinion. So I could see Victor asking it if it can make him more respected by other adults. So instead of people looking weird and strange and he feeling small and weak, where he gets the respect of other adults and he's not pushed around like with Jim coming in and pushing him around in the diner. Victor probably didn't fully understand why he was being manhandled. Now, you and I understand why he was being manhandled, because a 50-year-old man hanging around a teddy bear, which was Ethan season 1, it kind of looks weird. Okay, we'll just say it looks weird. Now, we know Victor wouldn't do anything like what I'm alluding to, but your average adult would be like, okay, this is not your grandfather or your father. This is not someone related to you. They're showing you pictures and drawings, offering you candy. Our mind is racing like, wait a minute, what you got going on? I hate to be the one to say it, but when you see a lot of movies where you have someone who preys on teddy bears, some of them do look like Victor. They look weird and strange, and they prefer the company of teddy bears. However, we know Victor's not like that. But I would imagine that Victor would want to be, in this theory, Victor would want to be respected by other adults, and I could see him making that deal with it. I want to be respected by other adults. And so what Victor would have to sacrifice and give up, I think, would have to be the memories of his childhood, i.e., forgetting about Henry, forgetting about Miranda, forgetting about Eloise, and even forgetting about life before Fromville. That would be like a big sacrifice for him, because he doesn't have any teddy bears, not gonna make any teddy bears. I think that would be a big thing, is basically eliminating the last memories that were happy for him in order for him to become assertive, and he would be turned into the man in the yellow suit. And forgetting a lot of memories, I think that the only memories he would have would be memories of being in Fromville and maybe knowing people's names, but not remembering them exactly. So that would be like the main thing that Victor would sacrifice would be his memories in this theory. The second thing that he would give up is his freedom, in that he would be in service to it, where it would be constantly threatening him. I can keep the bad memories away and keep you from being re-traumatized if you continue doing what I say. So in addition to Victor sacrificing the good memories from his childhood and a couple of other things, it would also take away what traumatizes him. So it would hold over his head, I can make you relive this trauma over and over again unless you serve me. And that's where I think that the man in the yellow suit would become enslaved to it. So when the man in the yellow suit showed up and Jim was there with future Julie, I think the man in the yellow suit, he already knew that he had some type of issue with Jim, but didn't know why. And that's why he started to approach Jim and was like, knowledge comes with a cost, doing the bidding of it. And the cost of you helping out your wife is you losing your life. And that's why the man in the yellow suit didn't think anything of it, because he had animosity from when he was Victor. The remainder of that scene with future Julie on the ground is going to play out to where Julie is going to say, Victor, what have you become? And talking to him like he's Victor, and he's going to be like, that's not me anymore. That's what I think is going to be. And so he's going to let future Julie go, or she's going to run away and go back to her regular timeline. That's one of my predictions for the man in the yellow suit. Listening to the creator, John Griffin, it sounds like the man in the yellow suit was designed to be like an angel. Let's listen.
Years ago, probably about 15 years at this point, I was driving down Los Feliz Boulevard, which is a place in Los Angeles. And I passed by, it's the corner of Los Feliz and Riverside, for anybody that knows the geography. There's a fountain. There's a big fountain. It's before you get on the 5. And as I was driving past, I saw this man in a canary yellow suit. He had a matching fedora. And he was just dancing and moving with such joy. It was like, but it wasn't like normal. Like, it looked like an angel trying out his body for the first time. You know, like it felt magical, like to the point where like I couldn't take my eyes off him as I drove by. And it was just one of those things where I was like, wow, that guy like almost felt like something unreal, unnatural. Flash forward to, I think it was like 4, maybe 5 years later. I'm driving up Cahuenga Pass, which is on the other side of Hollywood. And I'm driving up Cahuenga Pass, about to get on the 101, and I see the same man in the same yellow suit, only now it's tattered and it's worn, and his posture is weak and defeated, and all the joy has been washed out of him. And it felt like I had somehow drifted onto the margins of something magical. Like, we're in between when I had seen him first and saw him again years later. He had gone on this quest and he had somehow failed, or he had lost. And I was seeing the aftermath of this like magical figure that had been defeated. And so the man in the pale yellow suit about him. And then when we came to this point in the journey of From, and it was time to introduce this character at the end of season 3. It was like, oh, maybe that's the yellow suit. So that's the character.
Okay, so that's the inspiration for the man in the yellow suit. So some things to take away is that he was defeated. We're gonna just kind of dissect this a little bit. He was defeated. That could be Victor. At the end of season 3, he wanted to help out Julie, Tabitha, and Ethan. He may be defeated somehow and feels like he failed. Or maybe Julie and Ethan are in trouble and he wants to do more, but he can't. So he could make a deal with it to help out his friends. In doing that, his memories are erased and he forgets key aspects of himself, and he's unable to save them, and things get worse in Fromville, and he feels like he's failed, to where now it could affect him mentally. The idea of an angel trying out the body for the first time. I mean, when you look at the man in the yellow suit, the suit is too big. Look at his like thin frame. And then this suit jacket is like way too big. And even just like with the suspender, it looks sloppy. And if you have ever dealt with children, you have a child, when they dress themselves, if you let them dress themselves completely, they'll put on big rainbow boots, big clothes to make themselves feel bigger, and they'll just put on whatever. They may even put on your clothes if you let them. So this just appears that this is just something where a child would dress themselves. Just because it's so big and it looks like, all dingy, it just looks like a child was supposed to get ready for church. They threw on a yellow suit because they wanted to be Big Bird, and they went out and played on the swings, and they rolled around with their friends, and now it's just like, I'm ready to go to church just like this. I don't care. But your average adult would put this on and be like, nah, it's too big. There does not appear to be any buttons. That's in the clothes. Most men, if there's a suit jacket with no buttons where you can't button it up, it's too big. Most men are going to say, nah, I'm not wearing this. But someone like Victor, in my opinion, who has never been in the real world as a teen or older, hasn't been around a lot of men to school him up on how men dress when it comes to suits and clothing in general, or even women, he would find a yellow suit, put it on. This is me. I'm ready to go. Remember, Victor's favorite thing is peaches. I could see him see a yellow suit and be like, you know what? I like yellow because of peaches. Peaches are yellow sometimes, they're really orange, but I like yellow because of peaches. I'm going to get this suit. It's my favorite color, yellow. I'm going to wear it how I wear it. This is me. I could see Victor doing something like this, especially with having memories erased, sacrificing those memories, being in service to it to prevent having trauma, and not remembering who he is and who he came from. I mean, we see, as far as the character of Victor, we see him starting to gray up a little bit here, whereas the man in the yellow suit is completely gray. So for all we know, man in the yellow suit could be story walking. He could be coming from farther in the future than Julie. This man in the yellow suit could have been Victor after everyone is gone from Fromville and he stayed behind and he's gone insane. Victor already was having mental health issues with no human contact, but this is what happens when you've been in Fromville for like 100 years. You just gone insane. People are steady coming in and you're steady doing stuff in service to it, to where you forget your mission of wanting to help your friends who failed, and now it's festered inside. Now, obviously, Victor wouldn't be an angel, but I think angel can be metaphorical, because nurses that take the lives of their patients can be called angel of death. So I think in this term, angel is just a soldier of a deity. With it, I imagine being a deity, where now he's a soldier of a deity. And this is like his role, to do the bidding of it, to prevent from having the trauma of his past resurfacing and hurting him. Because remember, when he was talking to Tabitha, telling Tabitha about the boy in white, talking to Christopher, Victor was visibly harmed by that memory. Just him remembering stuff has re-traumatized him, on top of people going in his room, messing his room up, Jay taking his violin, people going through his things, Ellis harassing him, Jim accosting him in the diner. All this stuff is traumatizing him, and then remembering the past is re-traumatizing him. And even though people need him to remember to get information from him, Victor is going from being traumatized, forgetting about the past because of trauma, being re-traumatized when people want information from him, then being traumatized even further while he's accosted. So I could see Victor wanting to be respected by other adults, so people leave him alone, leave his room alone, respect his space, respect him, don't think he's weird. And the path to get there is make him strong to where people fear him, sacrificed his memories that were positive, that basically made him him and made him human. And then he's in service of it, enslaved to it and to Fromville. out of all the characters in the show, I think I said this before, there's only one character that considers From to be their home no matter what goes down, doesn't want any questions to be asked or answered, doesn't want to go looking for mysteries. He told Jade that when Christopher left and started to investigate the symbol, Christopher started changing. He no longer wanted to make anybody laugh. And I could see Victor saying to Jim, your wife shouldn't be digging that hole, because she digs the hole, the floor caves in, and not only does the cave painting get covered up, but stuff in the town starts to get worse. And then after all of that, remember, after Tabitha went down there and saw the wires didn't go anywhere as far as what gave power to their home, saw the cave painting, Tabitha wanted to continue on the theory train when she talked to Jade and they exchanged information. And that's what kind of made her want to go to the lighthouse. And she left Julie and Ethan behind to go do that. Even though she left them with Jim, she left them for the unknown, for like an adventure, and to save these children that may or may not be in the lighthouse. She's going off of what Victor told her, and she should have known, okay, Victor forgot about his own sister. Do you think that he's right about what he's telling you about this lighthouse? And she went by herself. So I think the same thing that Miranda had in her head to leave her children behind to solve this mystery is how Tabitha was. And all that kind of goes into getting her to the point where she gets to the tree. And Cooey is said by the original daughter of her and Jade's, and now they remember who they come from. Great for them, great for the townspeople, but it's horrible for Victor because he's constantly getting re-traumatized. And as From Bill gets worse, he's probably thinking, you all are tourists. You're guests in my home, and you're making my home worse for me. So I could see him wanting to terminate everything to bring balance, for things to go back to how they were before people showed up, and started going into the Peach truck, which is his truck, going into his room, which I think he probably views Colony House as completely his, getting all in his business and making things hard for him, and also making him have to deal with things like seeing cadavers and having to dig graves and all that. That's my theory on Victor more than likely becoming the man in the yellow suit, and why. What do you think? Hey, best part of the broadcast. Yes, helping to keep these lights on Parkland Media.
You're also keeping the lights on around me. What is up?
Yes. So we got some donations to go over. Right now, this comes from Adventurous Exile. Thank you for the super thanks. He says, your coverage of Victor's disposition was impressive. Jim was very aggressive toward him. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for being a channel member. I appreciate it. So if the man in the yellow suit was story walking, then he knew Tabitha digging in the basement would cause the floor to cave in. So telling Jim his wife shouldn't be digging may have been to stop Jim from using the radio. So I think that getting Jim off the radio and not being able to communicate is the main thing for that. The man in the yellow suit could have just appeared and just stopped Tabitha. But I think Tabitha digging was like one of those, hey, if you want to do this, that's on you. But getting Jim off the radio and not using it, with the radio not being used, the storm came in, destroyed the radio and all the equipment, no more communication anywhere. To talk to someone using a radio, they have to have a radio too. So the man in the yellow suit probably got on the maybe the radio in the RV, or maybe the man in the yellow suit has a radio somewhere. I mean, who knows? I came with a theory with that, as far as thinking that there's like a higher dimensional plane where Kenny had went to when Tien Chen Lu was boiling the cicadas, and Kenny was talking on a phone and talking to the man in the yellow suit. So I think that the man in the yellow suit has like another dimensional plane that people go to when they sleep and have visions and whatnot. And that's how he had the radio and is able to use telephone and everything like that. So in my opinion, it's possible that Phone Thomas could even be a real thing. Who knows? But thank you, Adventurous Exile, for the super thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have another super thanks from a channel member, Mike O'Sullivan. Thank you. I appreciate it. He says, if Kelly also put her hope into the roots, a tree may be wanting to hug Kelly's mom one day soon. Stay off the road, Mom. Once again, it's the attention to detail that sets this channel apart. I appreciate it. I do what I can.
You're out here doing the damn thing. Yeah. Thank you guys so much.
And you all keep me motivated to keep going. I mean, all 2025 when this is a fan theory for the show called From on MGM Plus, Amazon Prime, if you didn't know, if you're new. But when From season 3 ended 2024, I'm like, okay, I move on to other shows. But I did a couple of videos, continue on with the theory train of From, and people, you all have been supporting with commenting, sharing, channel memberships, donating. And I'm like, you know what? Let's keep going. Let's keep going. And I'm glad I made the decision to keep doing theory videos for From, because analytics have been good. There's definitely a cult following, myself included, for it. And you all keep me motivated. I appreciate it. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Wow.
Yeah, all 2025 was from all day, every day. So thank you, Michael Sullivan, for the super thanks and being a channel member. I appreciate it. And thank you, Straight Cheese 2892, for being a channel member and donating by super thanks. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. He says, class is in session. The faraway trees created from hope could still lead you to death. Yeah. Rest in peace to Dale. Rest in peace. You don't know where you're going to go. I mean, according to Victor, they're temperamental that way. He says, I'm not sure if I trust a faraway tree created from fear. Yeah. You really don't know how it was created, or when it was created, or why it was created. After 3 seasons, we don't know. We still don't know. Yeah, we don't know nothing. All we know is who threw Boyd the rope. So I guess something's better than nothing. I put maybe hope is food and fear is water. So yeah, thank you, Straight Cheese 2892, for being a channel member and donating by super thanks. I appreciate it. And one more from Adventurous Exile, channel member, donating by super thanks. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. Adventurous Exile says, I'm starting to suspect that what Victor draws becomes reality. When he was a boy and all alone, now he has the boy in white. Also, some dogs. That's kind of what a kid would want. Have you seen Attack on Titan? Long story short, certain people have powers that are acquired by consuming other people with that power. So I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad you mentioned that, because my prediction, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed, is that Smiley doesn't just come back and is just a nightmare creature like everyone else. My prediction and hope is that Smiley comes back and the talisman stones are negated by him. He didn't just come back to life through the everlasting life with the help of the Kimono Woman and Fatima. He consumed Elgin's blood, which has properties associated with divination, associated with visions. Because remember, Elgin had a dream of Fromville before even coming into Fromville, and he saw the Brussels and saw other stuff. So Elgin has a connection to From, and he definitely has powers. So in theory, if consuming someone's blood gives you powers, because remember, Fatima was able to see the original townspeople sacrificing their teddy bears for everlasting life, I don't think it was because she was pregnant with Smiley. I think she was able to see that after drinking Elgin's blood and getting some of Elgin's power that allowed her to connect with Smiley and be able to see that. Whereas I think Fatima may now have the ability where she can touch something and be able to gain information from touching stuff or being in the same area, equivalent to how Tabitha hugged Victor and was in the bottom of the root cellar, and she was able to have flashbacks of Miranda. To a certain extent, maybe even Tabitha has that ability. It would make sense that Miranda was hearing voices. Miranda was able to have visions. So even though Sarah hears voices, Tabitha should have visions too, and start hearing voices as well. I think that my hope is that Tabitha and Jade now have abilities where Jade now can remember all the information and intelligence from previous lives, to where now he knows more about the world, and that's a gift. But the cursed aspect of it is that it overwhelms him. And then for Tabitha, I would want her to hear voices and have visions, which is good because now they kind of have something to weaponize against the evil side. But she becomes overwhelmed with the voices like Sarah, and the visions show her stuff that are negative, where it makes her traumatized. That's all my prediction for season 4 and 5 is that, yeah, they remember who they come from. Their eyes are opened. Adam and Eve now have wisdom and intelligence and everything for eating the apple from the tree of knowledge, if you will. But it has hardship that comes with it. And that kind of goes into what the man in the yellow suit was saying, as far as knowledge comes with a cost. Like, you've got your eyes opened, but now the cost is Tabitha's going to have nightmares and be traumatized. She doesn't know the difference between what's real and fake and everything. And then Jade is going to become overwhelmed with knowledge, and he's going to start having different symptoms associated with schizophrenia. Just hearing voices and seeing things that's not there that no one else can perceive. We normally associate that with schizophrenia. And not trying to make light of anybody who is dealing with mental health issues or has a loved one who has mental health issues. But I think that it's going to be more of a schizophrenia thing with Jade. That's my prediction for season 4 and 5 for him. And we're going to see him start going crazy like Christopher was going crazy. And it may get to a point where Tabitha tells Julie and Ethan to hide somewhere where Jade cannot find you. Yeah. Thank you, Adventurous Exile, for the super thanks. I appreciate it. I said I made a video saying Sarah has to drink Julie's blood to gain story walking abilities. Maybe Victor is drawing what he sees in real life, but Eloise was drawing what she saw in visions like her mom. Majority of the gifts on the show have been with the women, except Elgin. So thank you, Adventurous Exile, for being a channel member and donating by super thanks. I appreciate it. That's all we have for that. That's all we have. Uh-oh. Wow. The From Planers are coming out of the woodwork, and I'm glad because it's right before season 4 gets started. So we're going to purge. So this is from, this was held for review by YouTube. So we got Space Case 2222 says 80% of the video just being reading comments.
Sounds like Bussy talk to me.
Right, Kratos. Kratos is absolutely right, because there are content creators, not naming any names, and I'm not putting anyone down because I don't blame you, but there's a lot of other content creators, other channels that they do a live stream and they say, call in with your theories. Call in with your theories. And it'll be like a 1, maybe 2 hour, sometimes even 3 or 4 hour live stream of people typing in the chat in the comment section or calling in to StreamYard, and they're giving their theories. Content creator is just reading comments the whole time and having a conversation with whoever comes on the StreamYard or having a back and forth of the comment section. It'll be a 100% video dedicated to just reading comments. So I'm up here reading comments, thanking supporters and everything. And this person's upset about that. Upset about that. So I don't know who sent you. This is not giving what you thought it was going to give. It's not giving what you thought it was going to give. So I'm going to help you out. We're going to put you in the box, get you up out of here. And so because other content creators read comments during their live stream, when they say you call in with your theories, they read the comments from the comment section. That's 100% of the video, and no one has smoke for them. I think the reason why Space Case is a front planer and is bringing me smoke, I think is because he's upset because he's counting my pockets. That's really what it is. Because that's the only comments that I'm really reading is donators. So counting my pockets, upset about that. He's one of those, or she is one of those, where when you celebrate or you got something going on that's positive, everyone's clapping but Space Case. Everyone's clapping but Space Case. Yeah. He doesn't like success, doesn't want me to be successful, wants me to fail. Didn't fail 2025. I've grown. And I think the reason why he's really bringing this up right now, right before season 4, we've been doing the same format for a while. Like all 2025, I've been doing the same format in a formulaic fashion, reading the donations, telling people to donate, doing theory videos. I think this is really what it is. I really wasn't going to say anything, but Space Case is making me have to say it. I think it's because I hit 5,000 subscribers. I think it's because we, and with your help, and thank you, because you are the MVP, everyone watching, channel members, regular viewers, subscribers, everyone has helped push this boulder up the hill to finally hit 5K. We did it, y'all. We did it. And in us doing it, being successful, I think people like Space Case, they see the success and they're like, you know what? I hate that. I hate it. I wish he would fail. I wish he would go away. But we're not. We're standing strong. We're together in this thing. And that's just, I'm glad the front planers like Space Case are revealing themselves so that we know who to get rid of as we continue to have a positive environment over here. So it's very sad, but I'm glad because I want them to get it out their system before we go to season 4. That way we don't have anyone around here who's being fake. So yeah, I think that's what it is the 5K subscribers that we just hit that milestone, the donations, me reading that and kind of having it back and forth, doing authentic theory videos, dropping them at least sometimes daily, sometimes weekly, dropping them, and everybody in the comment section having great theories and great back and forth. He's upset that I'm not like the other guys. And if you want the other guys and gals, go over there to them. You're not going to get it over here.
But that's okay.
It's an acquired taste over here. It's not for everybody, but I'm glad that we've had success and we're not going to let the front planers get us down. So Space Case 2222, you are going in the box. Goodbye. It's supposed to be a happy environment. We're all fans of the show, but you got to go. Yeah, he brought it on himself, but good riddance to bad rubbish. So what do you think on everything as far as the theory of this video? Victor more than likely will become the man in the yellow suit. It's a stretch. It's a yoga stretch, but I think it sounds about right. We'll see what happens season 4, season 5. So let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumbs up the video, share to your social media, subscribe, click the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace. If watching on your phone and using the YouTube app, there's a new free feature called Hype. That's when you're using your cell phone, mobile phone, same thing. And it's to the right of the thanks, above the description and below the video. Clicking Hype, this is the Hype right there. Clicking Hype, if you see it, when you see it, it tells YouTube to provide promotion for videos you enjoy. It's a new free feature for the phone app only, and you can hype 3 times a week max. And see the pictures below and hype me up. Okay, hype me up. Hype me up. Let's get the party started. And you can go to my my post area and you can kind of see all these, unless you've already seen them. And if you've already hyped me up, I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Dad, you have to run. You need to get to town right now.
What happened to you?
Please, you need to listen to me. It's not safe. I think this is when it happened.
Okay, slow down, Lloyd.
No, listen to me. I need to change the story, Dad, please.
That was a hell of a song. That Jade sure can play.
Get out of here.
No.
Run. This didn't have to happen, you know.
Back up.
But knowledge comes with a cost.
Get off him! Get off him!
Your wife shouldn't have dug that hole, Jim.